His voice still echoes in my head. I need to know more. Let's find that antenna on the village beach. This tape recorder is helpful during late nights. Don't judge me, Pierre. It's my only way to hear a human voice now. I finished reading the documents Matthew Banks had left for his replacement, who never came. Matthew apparently needed to join the lighthouse maintenance team to gain access to the Rorqual cell. To achieve this, he was forced to make a deal. The sect could help him get hired quickly, but in exchange, Matthew would have to pass on the information obtained once there. He didn't know why the cult was interested in all this, but he needed them, so he agreed in order to continue his investigation. Matthew knew that the Rorqual cell used a specific radio frequency to I am a living experiment on sugar. Communicate with the outside. Just before his departure, he discovered that the cell could no longer connect to this very frequency. The radio worked well, but the signal of this wave was scrambled, which prevented transmissions. It looked like sabotage, but who was behind it all? A member of the lighthouse team? Another spy? Only one thing was clear to him. If someone had wanted to disturb the signal, he would have gone through the big antenna of St. Exel. I have already spotted it in the past. It is on the quays towards the beach. I just have to go there. That circuit breaker inside the antenna. The cult was stealing them. They probably had tons of them. I'm sure it was what was blocking the submarine's communication. The sect seems to know more than what Matthew imagined. He thought the devotees met at the Assumption Church. Ugh! Get better at dodging these attacks. I'm sure it's this giant blue rock under the house that must be responsible for our bubble that protects and keeps monsters. I hate it when it happens. Double bad luck for you. The other manhole is open. I'm going to push that plank. There's away from our home. The crate of rocks came with a bunch of analysis papers that probably had to be shipped with the set. I don't understand all this paperwork, but these rocks seem to have... Ingeniosity is the key. Totally unexpected properties. I don't know if there is any connection between the monsters and this rock, and why it would have an effect on them and not me. Since I deactivated the jammer on the quays of St. Exel, the fountains react sort of like portals, allowing me to see the village under the snow, as if I was switching over several months later and rediscovering everything in another season. When I approach Rocky from the fountain, the water gradually begins to light up. If the pebble comes into contact, everything changes immediately. I can literally change the weather in St. Exil on command. I read somewhere that the fountains were built a very long time ago, and that their source is the same groundwater deep under the village. That doesn't explain to me why it does that, but I prefer to warn you. Do you think there would be the same type of rock under the village directly?
This bridge could do with a nudge.
The only downside to all this is that triggering the storm using the rock doesn't work if it's snowing. And, well, it's super cold, too.
This trap doesn't look the same as the others. The stitches are finer. But this one's empty. How shellfish are they?
Behind all great puzzles lies an even greater myth. You know it as well as I, the devil hides in the details. The solution of this puzzle too.
I'm done with you. Nothing. You are in front of the ingenious Fisherman's Gate, former contribution of the artist George. The gate is now only used to close, at the press of a button, access to the walkway leading to the Assumption Church. This gate has the particularity of being self-powered and only works during low tide. It's not working. It must be missing some part. The tunnel collapsed on itself. U-turn. I'm gonna need you. You can still see a cog was removed here. Another mission for Elise the Fixer. Wow. It's completely surreal to see this submarine here. I'm gonna need you. I saw this submarine on a board in my basement. It is the French submarine of the Rorqual service, which inspected the ocean floor off St. Exil. It arrived on this beach completely destroyed. Why? Let's take a walk, just you and me. The submarine was tracking something. Did this thing attack it? something else could be residing at the bottom of the sea? Another submarine? If ever the washing machine breaks down, I know where Pierre can do my laundry. Shrimp fishing guide. A fisherman must have forgotten that here. Some of these tips could be useful. The quays were built by the Dureau family. Their house can be found at the end of them. To facilitate the management of water from the White Manor, a path leading to it has also been developed. I might need you. Now that I have the key, I will finally find out what is hiding behind this restaurant. These docks look different. This side must be less frequented by tourists. The sect has already been there. They were really harassing people wherever they were. They didn't forget to leave their little gifts everywhere.
Residents of Saint-Exile, I observe you, and I see great suffering in you. You are deeply sad, and yet you persist in not wanting to acknowledge it. The situation here has been deteriorating for years, and no one has come up with solutions to your problems. No one wants to face
This door can be unlocked from the other side.
this, but our village is sick at heart. Here and there, some think that a curse has befallen our lands. Well, these people were right. Saint-Exile is not just a village. This place has a soul. If you've lived here long enough, you've definitely
This is a sea organ. It turns waves into music. That's poetic.
felt it shining through its walls, trees and cobblestones.
Let's take a walk. Just you and me.
At least you could feel it. Something has changed, and it has for too long. A dark and silent poison proliferates in the veins formed by our alleys and ends up washing up
Nothing.
at the foot of our doors, contaminating us a little more each day. Saint-Exile is not just a village, and its creation is no accident. The ancients never doubted it. Someone, or rather something, greater than us, decided to gather us here a long time ago. He made us build this village and protected our ancestors in exchange for his benevolence. Some of us honor him for that. It is the same entity which today has decided to call you to order and punish you. Unlike you, I never doubted its existence and its great power. It chose me to guide you like a shepherd bathed in the light of his wisdom. Join us so that this nightmare finally ends. From now on, you are aware and cannot go back. If you don't bend to his will, you'll end up paying for it. Only one possible solution is offered to you. Obey!
Behind all great puzzles lies an even greater man.
I'm done with you. Town of St. Exel. Following on the storm warning, fishermen's lockers need to be emptied earlier this year. Please get your number plates back on the board and revert your locker's codes to their initial values. P.S. In case you forgot, the initial code is your number plate number.
It all started 6 years ago. At the time, I was still a student, and I spent the little free time I had at the bar with my group of friends. In fact, we always went to the same one. We were happy there. What we particularly liked were the concerts organized by the small amateur groups that came by from time to time. Nothing very extraordinary in itself, but the atmosphere they created was magical and went wonderfully with our little evenings based on the cheapest beers we could find. After all, we were still students. And then, there was this group. They had been coming for several days, and their music kind of hypnotized me. The type of rock that you don't forget, and that I haven't forgotten. I must admit that the guitarist had something to do with it. His name was Pierre. There were always these moments after the concerts when the members of the group hung out a bit at the bar, but I didn't dare approach him, and I think he didn't either. The more it went, the more our eyes met, sought each other. I felt that something was happening. One evening, when the effects of the alcohol were strong, I no longer hesitated. I went to see him. From an outside perspective, it was probably embarrassing. At least I would have been. But that didn't seem to bother him. We talked for hours. But it seemed like it was over in an instant. I could see he was shy. And when we left the bar, I grabbed his arm and kissed him. We shouldn't have parted on a misunderstanding. I love this story. Our story. But that doesn't explain why we chose St. Exel to fully live our lives together, does it? At that time, Pierre and I were in our last year of college. We had already been able to take full advantage of the city and its agitation, and even if the years we spent there were fantastic, we really needed a change of scenery. A return to a calmer setting. Yep, that's what we needed. And it was when we were watching a report on a seaside region that we had to click. The landscapes were simply sublime. I always remembered what Pierre said to me at that time. Honey, okay, let's move. We just had time to finish our studies and put some money aside when an advertisement for a house for rent in St. Exel caught our eye. This song? Pierre had written a song about
Oh my god, it's working!
all that.
Select.
The church is close now. Nothing. Tree cycle. Elise, if you don't understand what's in front of you, it probably means you were facing modern art. We both knew you couldn't resist me. George seems to have a particular skill for turning anything into art. Museum entrance. Okay, now I'm intrigued. George's Museum, for the young and less young. Local museum, artisan workshop, exhibition hall. Exceptional summer event. Meet No-No the robot and take part in his treasure hunt. I don't see much. Let's walk with caution. I have a feeling that we can win gifts and they arrive right in this vase. 1990. Inauguration of George's Museum in the company of St. Exil's mayor. Always up to new challenges, the museum is located to attract people to an isolated part of the village. Facing the power supply issues of St. Exil, George electrically autonomized his museum. So you're Nico the robot. You don't seem super friendly for something made to amuse kids. Still, he and the museum look shut down for now. George, with the momentary storm, your windmill system went into safety mode and stopped. I wanted to reactivate it, but I couldn't put my hand back on the lever. In the meantime, the museum will remain in the dark. Let's try to push it now. Now the system should be unlocked. Way more welcoming. Special event, Nico the Robot. Don't be afraid of the future. 7 puzzles scattered throughout St. Exil, and therefore 7 tokens to be won. Small and big prizes for the most curious. That's tempting. There's even a tape.
Welcome to my very own George's workshop.
with the participation of the municipality.
Behind all great puzzles lies an even greater man.
Saint-Exil, we are organizing a great treasure hunt for youngs and less youngs. 7 of my famous puzzle tables are hidden at different locations in the village. If you succeed in solving one, you will win a token. Don't share the answer with the others. The first to get all the village tokens will have an incredible prize. Nico the robot is there to receive your tokens and reward you accordingly. For
You give up? Already? You'll figure this one out
each piece,
I hope.
don't forget, there is only one rule to complete my trademarked Jaws table. Put the magnetic ball through the metal hoop. Good luck, and I hope to see you all very soon with Nico the robot. Not
Look who's smart.
suitable for children under 4 years old. Play with moderation.
This is where I have to put the tokens. I want a piece of paper with a joke. Do you know who burned the Sistine Chapel years ago? Michelangelo. I swear to God. This is where I have to make him swallow special coins. Too bad I don't have any.
Mais attends, mais qu'est-ce que tu fais là-haut?
Bah quoi, je trempe mes chips sauce.
Mais tu as déjà goûté leur goût naturel inimitable?
Bah non, bah, je vais tester. Oh.
So, the wind turbines providing him with power stopped working. I wonder where they are.
Oh mais tu as raison, y a pas besoin de sauce. Nous on n'a pas besoin de sauce parce qu'on craque vos chips sauce.
Chipstos? La chips, naturellement.
You are on one of the highest points of St. Exil. The Assumption Church was built against the edge of this cliff. This panorama has become an emblematic place for those who like to observe the flora and wildlife of the region. Wow, I finally got there. St. Exil Church. Let's find what this church has in store for me. That's one elaborate sundial. Despite its look, I'm sure people can still use it. But I have a watch. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. Well, they made sure to enjoy today. smell of dust and candle. I am gonna need a key for this one. This setup looks recent. They probably did it just before the attack on the village. Okay, have some courage, Elise. Tomb of Father Roald, abbot who watched over the population of St. Exil. He dedicated his life to the village and the population. He distinguished himself in particular by his taste for religious, spiritual, and cultural texts. The large library of the Assumption Church is in his image. Shit. What are they doing here? I'm not sure I really want to know. It has been condemned by the sect. The Angel and the Newborn, unknown artist. This statue is incredible.
The time has come, my friends. Everything has been revealed to me. I understand why the most basic things, like having babies, has been taken from us. Our divinity, that required so much sacrifice, is still not content. The village kids have had it easy for too long. They need to share our burden. It talked to me and asked to surrender them to its will. Generations have forgotten how this village was built. It is time for a history lesson. We placed statues to display each person we sent to see. In their anonymity, they remind us of the road still to be endured. But be reassured, my devotees, this road is coming to an end. I found a way to communicate with our protector. It has chosen me as its vessel and talked to me so many times. I will finally be able to answer. A few of us were meeting secretly in preparation for our next and last action. It will all be revealed to you tonight after the festivities. Do not enter the crypt yet. I have the answers you have all been looking for. I will remove this poison from our life.
This staging was prepared while the population was at the festivities. The population of St. Exil being already fragile. I dare to imagine the trauma of people if they had been exposed to this. It must have taken a lot of time to set up all this staging. A lot of struggling souls probably joined the devotees over time. A sheet is hidden under this pile of books. Father, I have heard noises coming from the crypt several times. It is during the night when I prepare the Mass that I hear them. Isn't the crypt supposed to be unlocked only once a year? The door is locked up tight when I want to access it. Interesting. This book traces the entire history of the church and the creation of this cross. I'll take it with me for my bedtime reading. This church seems to hide a lot of secrets from me. The Assumption Memorial Cross. It was created in honor of the people who participated in the prosperity of St. Exil. Looking more closely at the cross, one has the impression that some parts can be interlocked on the sides. This door seems locked by a complex mechanism. Vegetable garden and scriptorium. This door can be unlocked from the other side. The annual High Mass is still maintained for the day after the Feast of the Village. Like previous years, we are expecting many of you. The sect had chosen the right place and the right time to strike a blow. The De Vignaux Mausoleum. They played an important part in the development of St. Exil. This family was in charge of the local agriculture. They ultimately defended the village by burning their own crops. The flower house was once their home, but it is now owned by the town. Tomb of the Dureau family who contributed greatly to the creation of the port of St. Exil. The fishing activity was so important that the family built their house at the end of the quays. They thus were the first informed of the contents of the merchants' cargoes in St. Exil. An envied position. Excellent. I should keep an eye on the time.
Ne m'oublie pas.
St. Exil also has its little jokers who come to tag everything they find. Bulletin from the city of St. Exil. The structure has been weakened and water can infiltrate the wall. The town will start the repairs soon so they can avoid a collapse before winter. Doesn't look like they had time. Move faster with such a bike, but with these ghosts on the road, I really wouldn't be discreet. There are no bad moments to officialize a bond. Planks removed. This should weaken this son of a brick.
May the force be with you.
I see. The crazy taggers have made another victim.
Bugas?
A little perfection for the road.